Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conspiracy. So today we're on the controversial internet figures Iceberg tier 6. Like last week, I did skip over 3 entries this time. The first one was Beyond the Meme, who from what I can tell was just a bad reviewer of memes and then made stuff up. El Presador, who has 3 very small controversies that aren't even worth mentioning. And then Mumkey Jones, who has dark humor, so whoop-de-doo. That being said, we still have a good video in store for you today. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today, and let's get into it. Trey Sesler, otherwise known as Mr. Anime, was an anime film enthusiast who formerly reviewed anime on his YouTube. He was one of the OGs of anime YouTube and is considered to be one of the individuals who kickstarted the anime community on YouTube, as well as many of the anime reviewers on the site. In February of 2012, Trey said that he was going to take a 2 or 3 week break to reward his previous hard work. At the end of the break, he announced that he had a new job in a field that he found fascinating and it may prevent him from uploading videos. On March 20th, 2012, he lured his mother into the garage where he shot her in the chest at point blank range. He then proceeded to enter the home and shoot his brother in the head. His father was woken up from the sound of the shots and went to investigate, only to be shot by him in the torso. Trey then killed the pets and destroyed the house before he took the weapon and 100 rounds of ammo to Waller High School down the street, with plans to commit mass murder. His original plan was to kill 70 students at their pep rally and to be the biggest mass murderer in history. He killed his family first so that they would not know what he was planning on doing next. On his way to the school, however, he decided against it and returned home, where he was arrested for murder. He later revealed that he turned around because it was all becoming too real, so he gave up. Police confirmed that Trey had been practicing for the event for several years by storing weapons in his college dorm and room and using buildings and household pets as target practice. Just so everyone knows, the biggest red flag of anyone is that they abuse or harm pets or animals in any way, shape, or form. So, I mean, if you see something like that, just be on the lookout. Trey had a large fascination for shootings, especially Columbine, and would rank killers. Shortly after he was arrested and the report of his arrest got out, many anime reviewers made videos on the situation. A lot of his fans and close friends were in denial for a while that the events even took place. A lot of his friends and family made up excuses as well, saying that he admitted to it and he was covering for someone, or that he was framed, but then he himself eventually admitted that he did do it. Trey was sentenced to life in prison. He had requested that his rights to parole also be taken away, believing that he'd pose a danger to himself and others. On the walls of his home, he wrote several things in marker, including, "Why did I do this? I love my mom, dad, and brother. I miss my brother, father, and mother. And God, please forgive me because I can't forgive myself." The only reason that I can tell that Elliot Rodgers on this list is because he had a small YouTube channel, but then he posted his manifesto on it, which blew up. So technically he is an internet figure. So he was born in London, England on July 24th, 1991. He was heavily bullied in school and he claimed that he was unable to make any friends, although people later said that he was the one who rebuffed their attempts to be friendly. He started maintaining a personal YouTube account and online blog, both of which he complained about his loneliness and rejection by others. He moved to Isla Vista, California on June 4th, 2011 to attend Santa Barbara City College, but he later dropped out in February of 2012. In July of 2013, he attended a party and said he tried to interact with girls there but was reportedly ignored. He then attempted to push girls off a 10-foot ledge, but failed and was pushed off instead by other men there. He then left, but then later returned to retrieve his sunglasses. Instead, when he got there, he was beaten up by the same people that pushed him. He told investigating officers about this, but they determined that he may have been the aggressor, so they didn't do anything. According to him in his manifesto, this caused him to begin planning his rampage. In April of 2014, his parents found his YouTube videos and became understandably alarmed. They contacted the police. However, when the officers interviewed him at his apartment, he downplayed the situation. They decided that he did not meet the criteria for an involuntary mental health hold, nor was there any reason to legally search his residence, so they left. At this time, however, he had been planning his killing spree and had 2 handguns in his possession already, and claimed in the manifesto that a search of his place would have ruined his plans. The next month, on May 23rd, 2014, Elliot started his rampage, which he self-titled The Day of Retribution. He started by stabbing 3 people to death, which were 2 of his roommates and their 1 friend who was over. Later that night, he uploaded his final YouTube video titled Elliot Rogers' Retribution, in which he described his plans and motivations. He then sent his manifesto a minute later to 34 people, including his parents and other family members, his therapist, former school teachers, and childhood friends. He then went to the Alpha Pi sorority house near the University of California, Santa Barbara, with the intention of massacring all of the residents. He knocked on the door, but no one answered, so he shot 3 Delta 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 sorority sisters who were nearby, killing 2 and wounding the 3rd. He then drove into town and fired into the deli mart from inside his car, killing a student. As he was driving away from the deli mart, he was spotted by 4 responding foot patrol officers, but they didn't suspect him to be the shooter at the time and allowed him to drive away. He continued his rampage, shooting at several pedestrians in drive-by shootings and striking others with a car. He got into a standoff with 1 police officer where they fired back and forth and he just drove away and the officer had no way of following him. He wounded 12 people during this time, 6 via gun, 6 via car. Near the end of the rampage, he got into another gunfight, this time with 3 sheriff's deputies near Little Acorn Park, and he suffered a gunshot wound to his left hip. He fled but was closely pursued by the police. He crashed into a bicyclist, severely wounding him, then he fatally shot himself in the head. Police investigated the crash and handcuffed the bleeding out Roger and the bicyclist, who they initially believed to be a second gunman. The day after this, officers went to Elliot's apartment to investigate it and found the 3 bodies of his roommates and his friend. Do you want to hear a real conspiracy? Roughly 50% of all my viewers are not subscribed. That's 50% of people, that's half of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Today. Zillion OP was a Twitch streamer who was accused of faking a disability for views and clout. He was a World of Warcraft streamer who had gained notoriety as a wheelchair streamer within a few months after creating his first account in 2012. He claimed that he had been in a deadly car crash the previous year and needed the wheelchair. In 2013, the whole world around him essentially came crashing down when he was clipped standing up from his wheelchair and walking away with ease.
Maybe I don't want to follow you. Our dog. Oh my god, we took our dog.
He thought he turned the stream off, and upon realizing that he was still live, he ran back to his computer and turned the webcam away. Some instances foreshadowed this moment, however, as in January of 2013, his social media pages were hacked and spammed with incessant messages implying that the hacker knew his truth. On his Facebook page, the header was changed to an image with the slogan, "Gamer fakes disability to get donations." He was then permabanned from Twitch for fraud. However, in a twist, he actually did have a disability from a car crash earlier in his life, but he was going to physical therapy and was making significant progress. So while he was disabled, he didn't give the full extent to which he was disabled. His viewers assumed that he was permanently disabled, however he himself never claimed that. He's back to making content for what I can tell under the name It's Bluish, spelled B-L-O-O-I-S-H, and I personally wish him all the best. Only Use Me Blade is a former Call of Duty commentator turned drunk streamer. He became popular due to only using the knife mechanic in games, effectively handicapping himself against his opponents. He started heavily drinking in 2015 and his channel was terminated in November of 2020. He broke up with his first wife and then had a drunken controversy involving a blonde woman that he had been talking to for a few months. He started asking her questions about gay people, liking black people, and then called her an N-word lover before he left the room angrily. She left, and when he came back into the room, he fell and hit his head, leaving a bloody mess, and screamed effing N-words. He's also a degenerate toxic drunk and was accused of him groping underage girls while on vacation. This led to an interview with Chris Hansen in 2019. Blade has cried and gone on breakdowns claiming that they're all lies, and some victims have said that they lied after the event, but the overall public generally still finds him annoying. In 2019, he voluntarily turned himself into the police to try to prove that he was innocent of misconduct. The most viewed video of all time on him was made by Critical on August 20th, 2019, talking about the scandal, the moment where he threw his dog on the floor, and many other things. Through it, Critical bashed him, saying he acted like the type of guy who thinks women owe him sex because he's hot, even though many people agree, and I'm sure you might as well, that he just not that attractive. In March of 2021, however, he reunited with the alleged victim, who said that he in fact did not rape her. Alright, that's the end of Tier 6. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.